Everything that's good is not God. Let me share my story with y'all. Okay, so in 2015, this guy that I was dating, we went to Vegas and we booked a hotel room, or I think we had like a timeshare or something situation. We had a whole little situation set up where, obviously I was living in unrighteousness and fornicating and getting drunk and just doing the most, smoking. And we had this room and I was like, okay, well, let's go turn up. Let's go out to the strip. So we started preparing to go out to the strip. I was like, it's a roach on that bed. I was like, man, like this sucks. Like I don't want to sleep in this room, you know what I mean? But it was like 2 a.m. already. And once you've been drinking, like you just don't have the capacity for certain things. We just do silly things like anyway, we went out and had a good time and then got back to the room. And I was like, well, I'm definitely going down there to tell them about this roach that they got in this room. So I went and got the bag that you put the ice in and I scooped the roach into the bag. I guess I had killed it, or no, maybe I think we saw another one. Like we tried to kill the first one, but we couldn't find it. Like he went under the bed or something. That little roach was fast. But then I guess that next morning, it might have been the same one, but I trapped it in the bag, killed it, whatever. So I took the bag down to the front desk and I'm like, excuse me, and I'm trying to be like polite about it, but I'm like, there was a roach in my room. And he's like, what? And I had to get louder, like there was a roach in my room. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me get the manager for you. And so the manager came out and he was like, my apologies. And I can't believe this. This is unsanitary. And I'm going to get someone to that room right away. And he was like, this is what I'm going to do for you. He put us in like the highest penthouse suite of that hotel. We were like on the 20 something floor. And it was stupid nice. Like, y'all, this room was really nice. It had like a mirror on the ceiling. It had like a round bed. It had the double head showers, wall to wall patio. Like, it was so nice. And they also gave us like a free buffet and like tickets to a comedy show or something. Anyway, it just felt like things were going so good. I'm like, yo, we just got upgraded. This is the best, Vegas vacation ever. And, let's turn up some more because everything is going so great. And I think in my mind, I was like, yo, like when things are going good, that means like, he might be the one, or like he might, be the one that I could kind of, because things are working out. And, I'm thinking it's favor in my own reprobate mind. I'm thinking like, yo, this is great. Like I haven't had this much favor in, with anybody that I've dated. And so I was like, this is it. Like this is, anyway, I was like, bet. So I share all this to say that when you read 2 Kings and 2 Thessalonians, you read the situation about deception, right? So there was a king who was seeking insight on if he was going to win the war. God had a conversation with spirits and he was like, which one of you will be a lying spirit to go talk to this king? And one of the spirits like stepped up and was like, I'll be the one to go lie and be deceptive. And God was like, all right, go ahead. And then in 2 Thessalonians, you read about like God giving people over to themselves while they're living in their unrighteousness. So they will deceive themselves, and God allowing that to take place because they have chosen unrighteousness. And I share this because I had strayed from the Lord growing up in church, preacher's kid, choir, usher board, all of that. And I began to stray like a lot of us do. And I was in a situation where I was deceiving myself. I was thinking that, I have all this favor and I was getting promotions on my job, but still living in unrighteousness. I would be thinking like, I'm getting favor, I'm getting blessed. And when we think about it, like the devil tried to tempt Jesus by saying, I will give you, all of the kingdom. And he was just trying to give him everything if he would bow down and worship him. So when we think about favor and blessings, I would encourage all of us to consider if we are living righteously and look up the definition of like, what does God consider righteous? What does God consider to be good? And then follow along with that. Like we're not clueless to fornication, but we choose to do what we want versus what God desires. Like if I had continued down that path of just like, fornicating and drinking and smoking and like hitting up clubs and wearing whatever I wanted, then I would have been like in jail, or dead. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. And that's why I thank God for saving me. That's why I thank him for pulling me out of the deep and coming to get me. I was deceiving myself because everything around me looked good. And we know that everything that glitters is not gold. And so it seemed as though it was a really fun time. But we all know that everything fun is not always righteous. And we know that everything good is not God. So I pray that you would reflect on this message. I pray that you would be encouraged to assess your decisions and your lifestyle. And even when it comes to like cohabitating with someone that you desire to be married with, like I've lived down that road and that path before, and it brought me nothing but more confusion and anger and resentment. And so that caused more, room to be healed and to become whole. So I pray this message blesses you. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Talk to y'all later. Bye.